r/ask Reddit, what is the craziest thing your horniness made you do? This was only 2 years ago. I was newly 18, which makes it worse. I had been vigorously sexting and video chatting this guy for a few months, and he had mentioned he lives in Pennsylvania. My grandparents live in Pennsylvania and my parents and siblings were going to visit for a few weeks in the summer. I didn't want to go originally, but I tagged along on a 16-hour car ride there and back, just for a chance to get with this guy. I then spent $200 on bus tickets and a hotel, since he lived a few hours from my grandparents, and I devised an intricate lie to tell my parents. I told them I had an old friend who moved to Pennsylvania and who I wanted to visit, and I even went as far as to have one of my real friends lie to my parents for me and pretend I was visiting them. I spent 6 hours on and waiting for the bus and a total of 32 hours in the car, as well as $200 just to get laid. That guy is now my boyfriend and our 2-year anniversary is coming up. I was maybe 11 or 12 and I'd recently discovered masturbation, yet I didn't have much concept of sex. So instead of thinking dirty thoughts, I'd masturbate while reading the back of my mum's shampoo bottles. A little bit later, this turned into masturbating to the instructional diagrams of a tampon box. Oh man, was I excited once I discovered porn. As a horny teenager, I lied to my mom about how much I loved eating hot dogs, so she'd buy them frequently and not question their disappearance. They were my first and least exciting dildos, but damn, they did the trick. How did you not get infections regularly? Ignorance and dumb luck. Was too young to have even considered something so obvious, lol. On numerous occasions, for various reasons, I have used an electric toothbrush as both a vibrator and a dildo. The first time I tried it was also with my first partner, and to be perfectly candid, I used the electric toothbrush because I had heard of vibrators, but never used one or seen one in person, and I was too ashamed to bring up the use of sex toys with my partner. Somehow, buying sex toys for sexual activities was shameful and weird, but telling my partner to put new batteries in his Sonica and brush my G-spot on high wasn't. Close second was the time I was so broke, and I had thrown out my sex toys instead of mail them to my new address. So I sculpted a dildo out of clay and baked it in the oven before ducking myself with it. I didn't have condoms or dams or anything either, so I used food grade plastic wrap and coconut oil. The shaft was crooked, and I made myself bleed. Shocked I didn't get a UTI. You're welcome. When I was a sophomore in high school, I skipped school with my boyfriend at the time. We had recently lost our virginities to each other and couldn't stop going at it all the time. We went to his house. We ducked everywhere in that house we could think of, and around noon we needed a shower. In the middle of the shower, something unexpected happens. A knock at the bathroom door. Who is it? My young boyfriend's mother. We finish our shower and honestly, since I ran naked into the bathroom, we only had a few pieces of clothing. He is afraid to get caught in an obviously compromising situation where we have obviously had sex because his mom is heavily religious and doesn't approve of dating at our age. What a joy it was to learn all of these things in a whisper, trapped in a bathroom. So he decides to wear a towel and leave the bathroom in his obviously freshly showered state. Nothing fishy here. He just left school sick, no big deal. He took a shower to feel better. This story takes a turn here. His mom was sick too. So his story was believed, but irrelevant because she needed the bathroom now. When my boyfriend left the bathroom, I climbed into the still wet tub, wrapped in a towel and the few clothes we had with us. A shirt, his boxers. We figured this was better than also nude. I'm freezing. The shower curtain is opaque and pulled shut to hide me. She bursts into the bathroom and I fear the worst. But alas, she stops at the toilet. I hear her plop on the toilet, hoping she just needs to pee. Oh no, this story doesn't work like that. That woman unleashed her anus onto the toilet like a landslide. The sound of it made me flinch. I can't fathom she escaped that without a serious amount of flashback. She sat on the toilet for an excruciatingly long 25 minutes. The scent was intense. I kept still through it all because the power of embarrassment is stronger than the fear of being caught, and at this point I was terrified of those results. Eventually, I escaped. Boyfriend apologized. Scary shit. Literally. When I was just past puberty, I decided to make a fleshlight out of my foam Nerf football. The outside was soft and squishy, but lo and behold the inside was rough. So when I tried it out it really hurt. I tried pouring water into it to make it softer, but it was cold as duck, so I just threw it away. RIP Nerf ball, sad face. I was 17 and in high school. My girlfriend at the time was in college. Her parents were lightly racist, but for some reason her mom liked me. Like, used to bake me Chex Mix and Rice Krispie treats kind of like me. I had never met her dad, and she made it clear that it probably wasn't a good idea. Even though she was grown, she lived with her parents and that she wasn't gonna fly. Because of this, she always had me over when he wasn't there. This was cool for the most part. One of these times, he came home unexpectedly, and we were in her room. She was his baby, and he always said hi to her when he got home. When she realized he was home, she panicked and said holy shit, hide. Immediately I realized I was not fitting in her closet, nor under the bed. Her bathroom wasn't attached, so there was no escape. I thought for sure I was gonna have to fight an old white dude that night. In like 30 seconds I asked her to get in her underwear and put a towel around her and answer the door like that so that he wouldn't come in. I was going to just hide behind the door and try the Drax approach, stay completely still and become invisible. He eventually knocked and I just nodded to her, threw a black jacket over my head since the door has a crack when you open it at the hinges, and slid behind the door as she opened it. He spoke to her for about 20 seconds, although it felt like an eternity for me, and my heart was beating so hard I could hear/feel it. I was sure he was going to find me and choke the living shit out of me. Eventually, he left, she closed the door, and we waited for him to go up to his room so I could leave. Well, that never came. For some reason he decided to stay up past midnight. He was watching a movie. Eventually, she just locked her door and we passed out. The next morning, her dad followed his routine, where he'd grab his paper and read it on the toilet for like 45 minutes. During that opening, her mom actually came, woke me up, and snuck me out the house, and dropped me off at school. Crisis averted. Mom saves the day. She must have been hoping you'd marry that girl or something. Not sure if this counts as something horniness made me do, so much as it is what horniness made me allow to happen. I was 16, dating a girl way out of my league. It was the end of our third date. It was like 11 PM on a Saturday and her mom picked us up from the movie theater, and we had been making out all night. When we sit down in the back seat, she makes small talk with her mom for a minute, then claims to be sleepy, and lays her head on my lap. She proceeds to unzip my pants and suck my dick the entire car ride back, forcing me to make small talk with her mom. I came harder than ever before 2 minutes before we arrived at her house. I was terrified the entire time, but it was an experience I will never forget. Mom definitely knew and was uncomfortable the whole time. Jerk off daily in the bathroom at work. Username checks out. In middle school I masturbated in the backseat of my grandparents' car while they were driving. Puberty, man, shit's wild. Every goddamn soldier/marine in here knows what happens in the porta shitters. Don't even try to act like it doesn't happen. Own it. I've seen dudes just straight up get in the porta john with their laptops. Talk about sweaty dudes when they come out of that mother ducker in desert heat, looking like they did 500 burpees, but only one arm is flexing. Semper Fat Marine. Not me, but before internet porn, I guess my husband, when he was a teenager, racked up a $1,000 cable bill ordering porn. His father was not pleased. When I was 14 we had just gotten satellite TV. I spent $600 in 2 months. My parents were pretty pissed. Did you think it wouldn't charge or something? I spent my whole time, while 14, covering my tracks, as well as a 14-year-old can. I figured it would get lost in the transactions. Back in the 70s, out of college on summer break, my girlfriend and I were traveling with my parents, all of us sharing a motel room, which was awkward as my GF slept in the same bed as my mom, and I had to share the bed with my dad. At one point the parents left me and GF in the motel room alone while they went to get something to eat. The door hadn't closed, but GF and I immediately were on each other like ducking rabbits. By the time my parents got back, GF and I was sitting on the bed watching TV looking oh so innocent. Pretty sure my dad suspected something had gone down, though. Ex-girlfriend gave me a hand job while driving a windy mountain highway at 60 miles per hour. I have never been so terrified and turned on at the same time. Edit, just to clarify, she was driving. So, she can drive stick. Edit, well it's official guys, my highest upvoted comment on Reddit is a hand job joke. A stick in each hand, God bless her. 16 and horny. We'd only been dating a few days. Walking with GF, when we began making out. It was night and there was this little path and we just starting taking each other's clothes off. We were next to a church, and about 20 feet from the street. I said, hey, don't you think this is a little too public? She said no one will see us. That's all I needed to hear. I had just managed to take her bra off when another couple walked up and saw us. She grabbed her clothes and we just ran away laughing. Then we went to our high school grounds and picked up where we left off. That girl was such a bad influence. Back before the internet, I'd lay out in a field with my pants off and wait for a cloud shaped like a tit to float by. Kids nowadays don't know how confusing it is when a boob cloud transforms into a dick cloud mid-stroke.
Thanks for watching. Hope you like a video. If you like a video, please hit the like button, share the video and subscribe the channel for more Reddit videos daily. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. When we upload a video you will get notified.